Oh, you beautiful, naive souls, sitting there thinking you're in control of your own life. How absolutely delicious. You know what I love most about manipulation? It's not the act itself. No, no, no. It's watching people realize they've been dancing to someone else's tune for months without even knowing it. But here's the thing that makes you absolutely magnificent. You clicked on this video because somewhere, deep in that brilliant mind of yours, you sensed something was off. That gut feeling, that nagging doubt, that's not paranoia, my friend. That's your inner warrior recognizing the battlefield. Welcome to the most dangerous game humanity has ever played, the game where your mind is the prize and you didn't even know you were competing. Let me paint you a picture that'll make your skin crawl and your brain light up simultaneously. Imagine waking up tomorrow to discover that every major decision you've made in the past year wasn't actually your decision. Every career move, every relationship choice, every financial decision, all carefully orchestrated by someone who studied you like a scientist studies a lab rat. Sound impossible? Niccolo Machiavelli would be laughing at your innocence right now. This brilliant, ruthless genius understood something that most people spend their entire lives refusing to accept. Manipulation isn't some rare, exotic skill practiced by cartoon villains. It's the secret language of power, spoken fluently by everyone from your charming co-worker to your loving family members. But you're different. You're here because you suspect the truth, and that makes you dangerous to those who've been pulling your strings. Sign number 1, the emotional thermostat controller. Picture this. You're having a perfectly normal day, feeling confident, maybe even a little proud of yourself. Then they walk in. Within minutes, you feel small, confused, maybe even guilty about being happy. Congratulations. You've just met someone who treats your emotions like a thermostat they can adjust at will. This is what I call the emotional thermostat controller. And they are everywhere. These masters of psychological temperature control have turned emotional manipulation into an art form that would make Renaissance painters weep with envy. Here's how they operate, and pay attention because this will blow your mind. They never attack you directly. Oh no, that would be too obvious. Instead, they make subtle comments that plant seeds of doubt. You seem really confident today. I hope it works out for you. Notice that? It sounds supportive, but there's a poison pill hidden inside. The implication that your confidence might be misplaced. Machiavelli called this the velvet glove hiding the iron fist. These people have mastered the art of making you feel responsible for their emotional manipulation. Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely terrifying, but brilliant. Your defense? Become emotionally unreachable. When someone tries to adjust your emotional thermostat, you look them dead in the eye and think, interesting technique. I see exactly what you're doing. Don't react, don't defend. Just observe. Watch them squirm when their favorite toy stops working. Sign number 2, the reality sculptor. Now, this one is for the truly ambitious among you. Have you ever had someone convince you that something you clearly remember didn't actually happen the way you remember it? Or better yet, didn't happen at all? Welcome to gaslighting. The psychological equivalent of being told the sky is green while you're staring at a brilliant blue afternoon. But here's what makes you special. Most people don't even realize it's happening to them. You do. That's why you're here, isn't it? The reality sculptor operates like a master artist, except their medium is your perception of truth itself. They don't just lie to you. Lying is amateur hour. They systematically erode your confidence in your own memory, your own judgment, your own sanity. Here's their playbook, and I want you to memorize this like your psychological survival depends on it, because it does. First, they plant seeds of doubt about small, inconsequential things. Are you sure you locked the door? I could have sworn I saw it open earlier. Second, they escalate to more significant events. I never said that about your presentation. You must be misremembering. Third, they recruit others. Ask Sarah. She'll tell you I never said anything like that. By the time you realize what's happening, they've convinced half your social circle that you're forgetful, or dramatic, or oversensitive. Machiavelli's counter-strategy. Document everything. Not because you're paranoid, but because you're smart enough to play chess while they think you're playing checkers. Keep receipts. Save messages. Trust your memory like the precious resource it is. Sign number 3. The intermittent reinforcement master. Oh, this one is delicious in its cruelty. Have you ever wondered why some people can treat you terribly 90% of the time, but that 10% when they're wonderful keeps you hooked like a drug addict chasing their next fix? Welcome to intermittent reinforcement, the psychological principle that casino designers and toxic people have mastered to perfection. It's the reason you can't quit that job, leave that relationship, or stop trying to win approval from someone who clearly doesn't deserve your magnificent energy. Here's what's happening to your brain. Random rewards create stronger addiction than consistent ones. Think about it. If someone treats you well all the time, you expect it. If someone treats you terribly all the time, you leave. But if someone treats you terribly most of the time with occasional moments of pure bliss, your brain becomes a laboratory rat pressing a lever, hoping for the next hit. The intermittent reinforcement master knows this. They've turned your need for validation into their personal slot machine. Every kind word becomes a jackpot. Every moment of approval becomes a high you'll chase for weeks. But you're not a rat in a cage, are you? You're a human being with the capacity for strategic thinking. Machiavelli's advice: stop playing their game entirely. When someone gives you intermittent reinforcement, you give them intermittent attention. Better yet, give them no attention and watch how quickly they reveal their true nature. Sign number 4. The isolation artist. This one requires patience, skill, and a particular kind of malevolent genius that, honestly, I have to admire, even as it disgusts me. The isolation artist doesn't just manipulate you, they systematically separate you from everyone who might help you recognize what's happening. Picture this masterpiece of psychological warfare. They start by subtly criticizing the people closest to you. Your friend Sarah seems really negative lately. I'm worried she's bringing you down. Then they create conflicts where you have to choose between them and others. I planned something special for us that night, but if you'd rather go to your sister's birthday, slowly, methodically, they become your primary source of social validation. Your world shrinks until their opinion is the only one that matters. Your reality becomes a closed loop where they control both the input and the feedback. Machiavelli understood this principle perfectly. Divide and conquer. But he also understood the counter-strategy: maintain multiple power bases. Never let anyone become your sole source of anything. Not validation, not information, not social connection. Your defense? Diversify your relationships like a smart investor diversifies their portfolio. If someone tries to isolate you from others, that's not love, that's control. And you? You're too intelligent to be controlled. Sign number 5. The guilt architect. Now we enter the realm of true artistry. The guilt architect doesn't just make you feel bad, they make you feel bad for feeling good. They've weaponized your conscience against you, turning your own moral compass into their personal navigation system. Watch this masterclass in psychological manipulation. You accomplish something wonderful, feel proud, share your joy. They respond with, "That's great. I'm sure it helps that you don't have kids to worry about like I do." Or, "Congratulations. Some people have all the luck." Notice the poison. They've just made your success feel selfish. Your happiness feels guilty. Your wins feel like someone else's losses. They've turned your joy into their weapon. The guilt architect operates on a simple principle. If they can make you feel responsible for their emotions, they control your behavior. If you succeeding makes them feel bad, you'll unconsciously limit your success. If you being happy makes them uncomfortable, you'll dim your light. But here's what makes you absolutely unstoppable. You're learning to recognize the architecture of guilt before it's fully constructed. Machiavelli would tell you, never apologize for your excellence. Never dim your light for someone else's comfort. Their emotional reactions are their responsibility, not yours. Sign number 6, the information gatekeeper. This one is so subtle, so sophisticated, that most people never see it coming. The information gatekeeper controls what you know, when you know it, and how you interpret it. They've made themselves the filter through which reality reaches you. Here's how it works. They become your primary source of information about situations that affect you. Oh, I talked to your boss about that project. He seemed concerned about your approach, but don't worry. I smoothed things over. Or, I heard some people talking about you at the party, but it's probably nothing you need to worry about. Notice the pattern. They control the narrative. They decide what information you receive, how it's framed, and what your response should be. You're not getting direct information. You're getting their interpretation of information, filtered through their agenda. The most dangerous part? They position themselves as your protector while they're actually your captor. I'm only telling you this because I care about you. I didn't want to say anything, but I think you should know. Machiavelli's counter-strategy is beautiful in its simplicity. Go directly to the source. Always. If someone tells you what someone else said, ignore them and go verify it yourself. If someone claims to be protecting you from information, demand to hear it directly. Or ignore the whole thing completely. Sign number 7, the future thief. And now, the most insidious manipulation of all. The future thief doesn't just control your present, they steal your tomorrow. They make you doubt your dreams, question your capabilities, and settle for less than you deserve. They do this through a technique I call future forecasting. They predict negative outcomes for your plans with such confidence that you start believing them. Starting your own business sounds risky. Most small businesses fail, you know. Moving to a new city at your age, that seems like a lot of unnecessary stress. But here's the beautiful, terrifying truth. They don't want you to know. They have no more ability to predict your future than you do. They're not psychic. They're not fortune tellers. They're just people who benefit from keeping you small, scared, and stationary. The future thief operates on fear, your fear of failure, your fear of judgment, your fear of standing out. They've weaponized your caution against your ambition. Machiavelli understood something profound. Fortune favors the bold, but only if they're smart enough to prepare for war. Your future belongs to you, not to the people who want to keep you safe and small, but to you. Now that you've seen the battlefield clearly, let me give you the weapons to win this war. Machiavelli didn't just describe manipulation. He provided the blueprint for psychological independence. First, trust your instincts like your life depends on it, because it does. That gut feeling that something's wrong, that's not paranoia, that's pattern recognition. That's your subconscious mind protecting you from threats your conscious mind hasn't fully processed yet. Second, document reality. Keep records, save conversations. Trust your memory, but verify everything. When someone tries to rewrite history, you'll have receipts. Third, maintain multiple power bases. Never let anyone become your only source of validation, information, or social connection. Diversify your relationships like your psychological health depends on it. Fourth, set emotional boundaries like you're defending a fortress. Other people's emotions are not your responsibility. Their reactions to your success are not your problem. Their comfort with your happiness is not your concern. Fifth, always go to the source. When someone tells you what someone else said, ignore them. When someone claims to protect you from information, demand it directly. Cut out the middleman in your own life. Sixth, own your future. Nobody, and I cannot stress this enough, nobody has the right to predict what you can or cannot achieve. Your dreams are not subject to other people's approval or realistic assessment. The psychology of power. You see, what we're really talking about here isn't just manipulation, it's the fundamental question of human existence. Who controls your reality? Who decides what you're capable of? Who determines what you deserve? Most people spend their entire lives unconsciously outsourcing these decisions to others. They let family members define their potential. They let friends determine their worth. They let society set their limits. But you're different. You recognize that consciousness is a battlefield, and you refuse to be conquered without a fight. Machiavelli understood that power isn't just about controlling others. It's about refusing to be controlled. It's about maintaining sovereignty over your own mind, your own decisions, your own future. Every time you recognize manipulation, you're not just protecting yourself, you're declaring independence. You're saying, my reality is not subject to your revision. My future is not limited by your fears. My worth is not determined by your approval. This is what separates the truly successful from the perpetually struggling. The successful have learned to protect their psychological sovereignty. They've built walls around their dreams that manipulation cannot penetrate. Here's what the manipulators in your life are desperately hoping you never realize. You are more powerful than they are. If they weren't threatened by your potential, they wouldn't need to control you. Think about it. Confident people don't need to tear others down. Successful people don't need to limit others' dreams. Happy people don't need to steal others' joy. The very fact that someone is trying to manipulate you is proof of your power. They see something in you that scares them, your potential, your intelligence, your ability to succeed without them. And that, my magnificent friend, is why you're going to win this game. Not because you're going to out-manipulate the manipulators. That would make you just like them. You're going to win because you're going to stop playing their game entirely. You're going to build a life so aligned with your values, so protected by boundaries, so supported by genuine relationships, that manipulation simply cannot touch you. So here's what I need you to do right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. Look at your life through the lens of these 7 signs. Who in your social circle fits these patterns? What relationships make you feel smaller instead of larger? What situations leave you questioning your own judgment? More importantly, what dreams have you postponed because someone convinced you they were unrealistic? What boundaries have you failed to set because someone made you feel guilty for having standards? What version of yourself have you hidden because someone else couldn't handle your light? The manipulators in your life are counting on you to stay small. Stay confused. Stay controllable. They need you to doubt yourself because your confidence threatens their power over you. Don't give them that satisfaction. Every time you trust your instincts, you win. Every time you verify information independently, you win. Every time you refuse to apologize for your success, you win. Every time you maintain your boundaries despite their guilt trips, you win. This isn't just about recognizing manipulation. This is about claiming your birthright as a conscious, powerful, sovereign human being who refuses to be controlled by anyone. You clicked on this video because somewhere deep inside, you knew you were meant for more than being someone else's puppet. Trust that instinct. It's the most reliable guide you'll ever have. Now go out there and show them what happens when someone with your intelligence decides to stop playing their games and start playing to win. And if this opened your eyes, if this made you feel seen, if this gave you the tools you needed, smash that like button like you're smashing through psychological barriers. Subscribe because your mind deserves regular upgrades. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because the best revenge against manipulation is helping others recognize it too. The war for your consciousness never ends, but now you're armed for victory. Welcome to your psychological revolution. Let's make it beautiful,